Stop. Just stop for a moment. You didn't find this video by accident. Not today. Not at this exact moment in your life. Out of billions of people, billions of videos, billions of moments in time, this message found you. Right here, right now. And that is not a coincidence. There is something I need you to hear. Something that has been waiting for you. Something that was written with your name on it long before you ever pressed play. I know you've been carrying something heavy lately. I know there are days when you smile for everyone else, and then the moment you're alone, truly alone, the weight of it all comes crashing down. I know what it feels like to lie awake at 3 a.m, staring at the ceiling, wondering if anyone in the universe sees you. Wondering if God sees you. I know you've prayed. Maybe you've prayed for a long time, and the silence that came back felt louder than any answer ever could. But here is what I need you to understand before we go any further. That silence was not rejection. That waiting was not punishment. And the pain you've been carrying was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. Today, right now, I want to share with you the promises of God that were spoken specifically over a life like yours. A life that has been tested. A life that has been bent, but not broken. A life that is standing at the edge of something extraordinary. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share will shift something inside of you. And I promise you, by the time we reach the end of this message, you will not feel the same as when you walked in. If you're ready to receive this message, type yes in the comments below. Let that be your declaration that you are open. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time someone asked you how you were doing, and you told them the truth? Not the polished version, not the "I'm fine, just tired" version, but the real truth. The version you only whisper to yourself in the car, with the radio off, after everyone has gone home. Because the truth, the one you don't say out loud, might sound something like this. I am so tired. Not just physically tired. I am tired in my soul. I have been strong for so long, for so many people, and I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. You've been the reliable one, the strong one, the one people call when things fall apart, because somehow you always manage to hold it together. But who calls you? Who holds you together? There are nights, and you know exactly which nights I'm talking about, when the loneliness isn't just uncomfortable, it's a physical ache. A heaviness that sits in your chest and makes it hard to breathe. You scroll through your phone, you see people living their lives, and something inside you whispers, why does everyone else seem to have it figured out? Why does it feel like I'm always on the outside, looking in? You've cried tears that no one ever saw. You've mourned losses that no one ever acknowledged. You've fought battles in your mind that no one ever knew were happening. You have smiled when you wanted to scream. You have said, I'm okay, when your whole world was crumbling. And you have kept going, day after day, carrying it all. And the deepest question, the one you're almost afraid to say out loud, is this. Does God see any of this? Does He actually see me? If this describes your season right now, type I see you, God, as a declaration that you believe He sees you too. There's something else, isn't there? Beyond the exhaustion, beyond the loneliness. There's a mind that never fully rests. A mind that replays conversations from years ago, looking for what you said wrong, what you could have done differently. A mind that runs through every possible scenario of what could go wrong tomorrow, next week, next year. A mind that generates fear faster than peace can arrive. You lay down to sleep, and your brain says, "Not yet, we have more to process." You sit in a moment of quiet, and the questions rush in. Am I doing enough? Am I enough? What if I fail? What if I've already made the wrong choice, and it's too late to fix it? The cruelest part of overthinking is this. It disguises itself as wisdom. It feels like preparation. It feels responsible. But underneath it is a deep fear that says, if I stop worrying, something terrible will happen. If I let go, everything will fall apart. So you hold on. You control. You plan. You prepare for every possible version of disaster. And you are exhausted from the effort of it. But here's what I need to say to that part of you right now. The God who holds the universe does not need your anxiety to hold your life together. Your worry has never once added a single good thing to your story. It has only stolen your peace in the present by manufacturing pain from a future that doesn't exist yet. And that is not how you were designed to live. I know that's easier said than fixed. I know you can't just choose to stop worrying and have it disappear. But something I want to plant deep in you today, something we'll come back to, is this. The same God who told the storm to be still is speaking to the storms inside your mind right now. Type, "My mind is safe" in the comments. Let that be your first declaration of peace over your own thoughts. One of the deepest hungers of the human heart, one that most people never name out loud, is the hunger to be truly seen. Not evaluated, not judged, not needed, but seen. Seen in the fullness of who you are, your struggles, your questions, your doubts, your quiet moments of faith, your failures, your beautiful attempts to keep trying. You may have experienced relationships where you felt used rather than valued, where people came to you when they needed something and disappeared when you did, where the love felt conditional, based on what you could produce, how you could perform, how well you could meet their needs. And somewhere along the way, you started to wonder, is this just how it works? Is this just what love looks like? Maybe your family saw the role they needed you to play, not the person underneath. Maybe the community around you saw what you could contribute, not who you actually were. And so you got very good at being what everyone needed. And you got very lonely doing it. I want to say something directly to that part of you right now. You have never been invisible to God. Not for a single second. Not in the moments you were proud of yourself. And not in the moments you were most ashamed. He has seen every version of you. The strong version. The broken version. The version that showed up even when it cost everything. The version that stayed in bed and couldn't face the day. He has seen all of it. And he has not once turned away. Let me tell you a story. It's about a woman named Alara. Alara grew up as the oldest child in a home that looked fine from the outside, but she learned early, very early, that home was a place where she needed to be small, quiet, and careful. Her parents fought often, silently mostly, the kind of fighting that fills a house with tension no one ever names. And Alara, who was sensitive and deeply aware, became the one who held things together. She comforted her younger siblings. She performed well in school, so her parents would have one less thing to worry about. She learned the art of becoming whatever the moment needed. She carried this skill into adulthood, into friendships where she was always the listener, rarely the one listened to, into a career where she worked twice as hard as those around her and somehow received half the recognition, into a relationship that started with such genuine hope and then slowly, quietly ground her down. Alara prayed. She had always prayed. Since she was a little girl, she had spoken to God like a friend. But somewhere in her 30s, the prayers started to feel like letters she was sending to an address that no longer existed. She would speak and hear nothing back. She would ask and wait. And wait. And wait some more. She began to wonder if she had done something wrong, if she had failed some invisible test, if God had simply moved on to more deserving people, the kind of people who seemed to have their lives held together in ways hers never would be. Then came the year everything collapsed at once. The relationship ended, the job ended. A close friendship fractured in a way that felt impossible to repair. And Alara found herself sitting in an empty apartment, looking at a life that felt completely stripped bare. And in that stripped bare place, in that hollow, frightening silence, something happened. It didn't come as a loud voice. It came as a stillness she hadn't felt in years. And in that stillness, she heard something she had stopped believing was possible. She heard, "I see you. I have always seen you." Every year of carrying, every night of crying alone, every prayer you thought went unanswered, I was there, and I was working. Alara didn't understand it, not right away. It didn't make the pain disappear. The apartment was still empty, the losses were still real. But something in her shifted, not because her circumstances changed, but because her perspective did. She began to look back at her life with different eyes. And she saw something she had never noticed before. Every single time something had been taken away, something better, something truer, something more aligned with who she actually was, had eventually come to fill its place. The relationship that ended had been slowly suffocating her. The job that disappeared had been keeping her from a direction she had always been afraid to pursue. The friendship that fractured had been built on an unspoken imbalance she had never found the courage to address. She hadn't been abandoned. She had been cleared. And the season of silence she had called God's absence was actually God's most intimate act of preparation. He had been building something in her through the breaking, something she never could have chosen for herself, something that required every difficult thing she had lived through to make it possible. Maybe you know a little of what Alara felt. Maybe your story has different details, but the same emotional fingerprints. Maybe you too have been in a season that felt like being stripped bare. If so, stay with me. Because what happened for Alara is not a fairy tale. It is a pattern woven into the fabric of how God works, and it is happening in your life, even right now. even when you cannot see it. Type, I am being prepared. If you feel in your spirit that God is doing something in this season you don't fully understand yet. 7 promises God is speaking over your life. Now, I want to share with you 7 promises. Not platitudes, not religious filler. These are specific, living truths that speak directly to the 7 most painful places in a life like yours. I want you to receive each one slowly. Let it land. Let it settle into the places that have been waiting to hear it. Promise 1. You are seen in your suffering. The Bible tells us about Hagar, a woman who had been used, dismissed, and sent away into a desert to die, alone, with a child, with nothing. And in that desert, in what should have been her final moments, God showed up. Not with a grand announcement, not with a crowd or a celebration. He simply appeared to her in the desert, and she gave him a name that had never been used before or since. She called him the God who sees me. El Roi, the God who sees. Not the God who sees the powerful, not the God who sees the successful, the God who sees the one sitting alone in a desert, running out of hope. Here is the promise. You are not invisible to God. The tears you cry in private, He collects them. Scripture literally says He keeps them in a bottle. The prayers you whisper when no one else is listening, He hears every single word. The faithfulness you have shown when it would have been so much easier to give up, He has written it down. You have never been unseen, not once, not for a moment. If you receive this promise, type, "You see me, God," in the comments. Promise 2. Your waiting has a purpose. One of the most painful words in the vocabulary of faith is wait. We live in a world that has almost completely lost its tolerance for waiting. We want answers now, resolution now, healing now, the next chapter now. And when it doesn't come, when the waiting stretches from weeks to months to years, the mind begins to generate stories about what that silence means. I was wrong. God forgot me. I must have done something to cause this. Maybe the promise was never real. But let me show you something remarkable. Joseph, the young man who received a dream from God as a teenager, waited over a decade before it was fulfilled. A decade of slavery, a decade of imprisonment, a decade of circumstances that, by all appearances, were moving in the exact opposite direction of what God had promised. And then, in a single day, in a single conversation, everything changed. What looks like delay from the outside is often preparation from the inside. What are you developing in this season of waiting that you couldn't have developed any other way? What are you becoming in this desert that only the desert could produce? Patience is not passive. It is one of the most active, costly, and powerful things a human being can do. The promise is this: your wait is not wasted. Every single day of it is being woven into something. Type, "My waiting is not wasted," as a declaration of trust over your timeline. Promise 3. Your broken places are not your ending. There is a grief that lives in those of us who have experienced deep loss or failure. A grief that whispers that we have been permanently damaged, that there is a version of our story that was possible before, and that version is now gone forever. that the best we can hope for is a smaller, quieter life built on the ruins of what fell apart. That is one of the most profound lies that suffering produces. The Japanese art of kintsugi is the practice of repairing broken pottery with gold. The cracks are not hidden. They are filled with something precious, and the repaired piece becomes more beautiful, more valuable, more meaningful than the unbroken original. This is not just philosophy. This is pattern. The stories that move us most deeply, in literature, in history, in the lives of people we admire, are almost never the stories of people who had it easy. They are the stories of people who were broken and who were restored in ways that made them extraordinary. Your story is not finished, not even close. And the broken places, the places you are most tempted to hide, most ashamed of, most convinced disqualify you, are precisely the places where the gold is going in. Type, "I am not finished," if you believe God is still writing your story. Promise 4. The closed doors were protection, not rejection. Think back for a moment. Think about the opportunities that didn't work out, the relationships that ended, the plans that collapsed, the doors that closed, sometimes gently, sometimes with the force of something that felt like devastation. At the time, those closings felt like failures, like losses, like God either wasn't paying attention, or worse, was actively withholding good things from you. But here is something worth sitting with. How many of those closed doors, in hindsight, were actually protecting you from something you couldn't see at the time? How many of those no's were actually mercy dressed in disappointment? How many times did you lose something that later, maybe much later, you recognized was keeping you small, keeping you stuck, keeping you from the direction your life actually needed to go? This is not to minimize grief. Losses are real. Closed doors hurt. Disappointment is a legitimate experience, and it deserves to be honored, not rushed past. But alongside the grief, there is a truth worth holding. God's protection often looks like interruption. A door closing is not always abandonment. Sometimes it is divine redirection. The promise is this: what looks like rejection is often God's protection, and He is not finished opening new doors. Type, "I trust the closed doors," as a declaration of faith in God's direction for your life. Promise 5. You are not too much or too little. One of the deepest wounds that forms in childhood and then follows us into adulthood is the wound of conditional belonging. It forms when you learn, through repeated experience, that you are accepted when you perform well and withdrawn from when you fall short. When love is something you earn rather than something you simply receive. And over time, this produces a deeply exhausting inner calculus. Am I being too much right now? Am I being too emotional, too needy, too broken, too much of a burden? Or am I being too little, too quiet, too small, not good enough, not contributing enough to justify my place in this relationship, this community, this world? This inner calculus runs constantly in some people's minds. It is tiring beyond words. And it fundamentally distorts the way you experience love, because you are always waiting for it to be withdrawn. Here is the truth I want to plant deep in you today. You were not designed to earn your worth. You were created with it. There is a theological concept that often gets softened or diluted, but it is one of the most radical things in all of human thought. That your value is not a function of your performance. It was built into you before you ever did anything, before you succeeded or failed, before you were good or bad, before you knew anything about yourself. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are exactly what was meant to exist in this body at this time with this history for a purpose that is specifically yours. Type, "I am enough," and mean it. Let that be your declaration today. Promise 6. The people who left were not your destiny. The pain of losing relationships, especially relationships you invested deeply in, is one of the most disorienting forms of grief there is. Because it doesn't just hurt, it makes you question yourself. What did I do wrong? Was I too much? Too needy? Not enough? Did I miss the signs? How did I not see it coming? And sometimes the leaving wasn't dramatic. Sometimes it was gradual, a slow fading, a growing distance, a friendship that used to be daily and then became occasional, and then became silence. And those slow leavings can be harder to process than the dramatic ones, because there's no clear moment of grief, just a slow ache. I want to offer you a reframe, and I offer it gently, knowing that grief needs time and should never be rushed. Some people are placed in our lives for seasons, not for all time. And when a season ends, it does not mean it was a failure. It means it was complete. The love was real. The connection was real. The growth that happened between you was real. And it fulfilled its purpose. But here is the harder truth. Some relationships, if they had continued, would have prevented you from becoming who you needed to become. Some people, if they had stayed, would have kept you smaller, quieter, less yourself. And sometimes the kindest thing God can do for a life that is meant for more is to allow certain seasons to end. The people who are meant to walk with you into your next chapter are either already in your life or are coming. The empty space is not a wound, it is a prepared place. Type, "I release what was," if you are ready to let go of what ended and trust what is coming. Promise 7. You have a future that is better than your past. This one is for the person who has lived through enough hard things that hope has started to feel dangerous. Maybe you've hoped before. Maybe you believed something was coming, something was changing, something good was just around the corner, and then it wasn't. And the disappointment of that unmet hope left you more guarded than before. So now you keep your expectations low. You prepare for the worst. You tell yourself that way you won't be blindsided. But here's what that protection cost you. It costs you the ability to fully live in the present. It costs you the energy of genuine anticipation. It costs you the lightness of believing that something good is actually possible. I am not asking you to manufacture a hope you don't feel. I am asking you to consider the possibility, just the possibility, that you have not yet seen the best chapters of your story. That the things you have survived have built in you a depth of character, a capacity for compassion, a resilience, a wisdom, things that cannot be developed any other way. Things that are preparing you for a version of your life that is richer, truer, and more meaningful than anything that came before it. The promise is not that everything will be easy from here. It is that nothing you have been through will be wasted. And the person you have become through all of it is exactly who is needed for what comes next. Type, "My best is still ahead," as your declaration of hope over your future. Now I need to talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough in conversations about faith and healing. I need to talk about the internal war. Because even as you're listening to this, even as some part of you is resonating, something is opening, something is starting to believe. There is another voice. And that voice is working hard right now. It sounds like this. This is just words. Nothing is actually going to change. You've heard messages like this before, and nothing shifted. You're going to feel good for a few hours, and then everything will be exactly the same. Or this. These promises are for other people, better people. People who haven't made the mistakes you've made, who haven't wasted the years you've wasted, who haven't fallen as many times as you have. Or this, which is perhaps the most subtle: you don't actually deserve to feel better. I want to name these voices clearly, because unnamed things have more power than named things. These are not wisdom. They are not honesty. They are not discernment. They are the voice of every wound that has ever told you that you were not enough. They are the accumulated weight of disappointment, spoken back to you in a tone that sounds like realism, but is actually fear. And here is the most important thing I can tell you about those voices. They are loudest in the moments just before breakthrough. Resistance always intensifies right before change. The strongest voices of doubt come right before the door opens. The deepest grief arrives right before the healing. If you are feeling the heaviest resistance right now, if something in you is pushing back against what you're hearing, that is not a sign that this message isn't for you. It is a sign that it is exactly for you. You are in a battle, not against flesh and blood, as the ancient text says, not against other people or circumstances or even yourself. You are in a battle for the story you believe about your own life, and you get to choose which voice wins. Type, "I choose faith over fear," as your declaration in this moment of battle. I want to slow down here. I want to speak very gently, very directly to the part of you that is most tired. The part that has been strong for so long that it has forgotten what it feels like to just be held. The part that has been carrying responsibility since you were young, maybe since childhood, and has never fully put it down. The part that monitors everyone else's emotional weather and adjusts itself accordingly, and in doing so, has lost touch with its own. I want to speak to that part of you and say, you don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to have it figured out. You don't have to protect anyone, fix anything, or perform. You are allowed to just be here. Tired, uncertain, hopeful, and scared at the same time. You are allowed to not have all the answers. You are allowed to need. Because here is the truth about God and weakness. He is not waiting for you to get strong enough to deserve His help. His strength has always been made perfect in weakness, not after the weakness is resolved. In it. The very moment of your most profound need is not a distance from His presence. It is an invitation into it. I want to invite you to do something right now. Not out loud, not as a performance, just internally in the privacy of your own heart. I want to invite you to lay down something you've been carrying. One thing, the heaviest thing, the thing you wake up thinking about and go to sleep worried about. The thing that has been sitting on your chest for longer than you want to admit. Just for a moment, just for right now, let go of it. Don't try to solve it. Don't try to plan around it. Don't try to protect yourself from the outcome. Just let it rest somewhere other than your own hands. You are safe enough to let go. You are held. And the thing you are laying down is not falling into emptiness. It is falling into hands that are stronger than yours. Type, I lay it down, if there is something you are choosing to release right now. Before we close, I need to say something to you about your identity. Because I think you have been operating under a description of yourself that was written by your hardest moments, rather than by the truth of who you actually are. You are not the sum of your failures. You are not the diagnosis. You are not the relationship that ended. You are not the years that felt wasted. You are not the version of yourself that broke down under pressure. You are someone who has lived through things that would have destroyed people with less depth. You are someone who has kept faith alive in seasons when faith felt impossible. You are someone who has loved people who didn't love you back well, and who has refused to let that close your heart. You are someone who is sitting here, right now, still reaching, still seeking, still believing that something better is possible. That is not weakness. That is one of the most remarkable things about you. The sensitivity that has made you vulnerable has also made you capable of a depth of love and compassion that the world desperately needs. The pain that has marked you has given you the ability to sit with other people in their pain in ways that no textbook, no credential, no comfortable life could have produced. The wilderness you have walked through has given you a map, and the people who are just beginning their wilderness are going to need someone who knows the terrain. That is you. That has always been you. You were not made for a small, quiet, unnoticed life. You were made for something that required exactly the person you have become. I want to close by speaking something directly over you, not as a performance, as a sincere declaration of what I believe is true, and what I believe God would want you to hear right now. You have been seen. In every single moment of every single season you have walked through. The crying in the car, the prayers no one heard, the strength you showed when you had nothing left to be strong with. All of it has been witnessed. You have not been forsaken in your waiting. The silence you have experienced was not absence. It was the sound of preparation, of something being built in you and around you that required time, required depth, required the exact conditions you have been living in. Your story is not over. It is not even at its best chapter yet. The things you have survived have not broken you. They have forged you. And the person you have become in the furnace is exactly who is needed for what comes next. The promises over your life have not expired. They are not waiting for you to become perfect, or more faithful, or more together. They are reaching toward you right now, in this exact state, in this exact moment. You are loved. Not for what you can produce, not for how well you hold it together, not for being easy or low maintenance or uncomplicated. You are loved in your full, unedited, complex, beautiful, broken, and being restored self. That love is not a feeling that comes and goes. It is the most stable thing in your universe. And it is yours. Right now, today, exactly as you are. If you want to, I want to close with a simple prayer. You don't have to say anything out loud. Just let these words represent the direction of your heart. God, I don't have all the answers. I don't understand every season I've walked through. But I am here. And I am choosing to believe that you see me, that you are working, that the waiting is not wasted and the pain is not pointless. I lay down the weight I've been carrying. I lay down the fear, the doubt, the need to control, the need to have everything figured out. I receive the promises that are mine. I declare that my story is not finished. I choose to believe that my best is still ahead. Be near to me. Hold what I cannot hold. Rebuild what needs rebuilding. And lead me forward, step by step, day by day, into the life I was made for. Amen. If this message met you somewhere real today, if something in it landed in a place that needed it, I want to ask you to do 3 things. First, leave your name in the comments below. Just your name. Let it be your way of saying, I was here, I received this, I am choosing to believe. I see every single comment, and your name will be carried in prayer. Second, share this video with one person. Not because this channel needs the views, but because you know someone, right now, as you're thinking about it, who is in a hard season and needs to hear that they are seen, that their waiting is not wasted, that their story is not over. That share might be the most meaningful thing you do today. Third, if this kind of message, honest, deep, practical faith for real life, is what you need more of, then subscribe and turn on notifications, and the next message is already being prepared for you. Leave your name in the comments. Type, my name is your name, and I received this. Share this video. It could be someone's lifeline today. Subscribe so the next message finds you when you need it. Until next time, you are seen, you are held, you are not alone.